But that summer had a dark side. Tens of thousands of Europeans died in the heat. We all would like to know for certain what will happen to our climate in the future, whether we'll be sweltering in a heat wave or inundated by floods. But scientists can only give us a range of possibilities, and what they're telling us is that our world will warm anywhere between 1.4 and 5.8 degrees Celsius in the next century. To put it another way, the impact of global warming will be somewhere between severe and catastrophic.
We can't hide behind our walls with our, with our basement stuffed full of baked beans. It's not going to work. And that's what Cuba experienced. You know, that whoever you were, whatever you had been in this current life, in the next one, you're all hungry, and farming together is a lot easier than farming on your own. Yeah.
It's this thing of cooperating with each other. Not only is it logical and sensible from the point of view of sharing our resources and our talents and our skills, it's absolutely necessary. There's no way around it.
Clearly food's going to be an issue.
Cuba had committed to the Green Revolution, a system which requires the massive use of fossil fuels in the form of natural gas-based fertilizers, oil-based pesticides, and diesel fuel for tractors and other farm machinery.
People, they end up squatting places in the city and growing food there without knowing how, because there were engineers, there were doctors, there was not farmers.
A drastic effort to convert every piece of arable land to organic agriculture was begun. The government imported 1.2 million bicycles from China and manufactured 500,000 more.
We had to then learn how to use bicycles, and bicycles was distributed all around the country to try to get to our workplaces. Doctors went to the hospitals, on bikes, without any culture of using bikes. It was just political will, that was it. There's no other way.
Every vacant lot in the city was turned into orchard.
At first, urban gardening was an ad hoc local survival response to the crisis.
They needed food, they didn't know how, and they just did it, trial and error. And there was a space, they have a problem with garbage, dumping, rats, so they fixed all of those problems, get rid of the garbage and start growing things there.
Now that I've watched some of these DVDs, you sort of got one foot in the camp where you've got to keep paying your mortgage and your bills and whatever, and yet you're trying to prepare for, we don't know what's coming next, who knows. First thing you might do is watch these DVDs and get a sense of whether it's real for you. In the rare moments I watch mainstream TV, it's like, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe it's not happening. This is pretty serious, and there's some pretty credible people talking about it. You can do a lot to make a difference, There's lots of things.
We can join our energies and our skills and our talents, our resources, and start this process of mutual support. Because the whole financial model is working only for a very few people at the top of a pyramid. And the most of us, it's simply not working for, and it's working less and less and less. And there are things you can do. Learn to grow something. Decide, okay, this year you're going to grow a whole bunch of tomatoes and you're going to share it with your friends. And if you've got some friends that you know well, maybe suggest that they grow a bunch of lettuces and share them with you. And somebody else can be doing onions and someone potatoes. And, you don't have to know it all, but start thinking about working together a little bit.
Let's have the Waikiki Energy Company. Let's set up a wind farm, maybe. Why not sell it back to the grid on windy days, We can do all that. And we'd feel bloody good about doing it. I would. Is it doable? Would people buy shares in it? Let's have a go,
Over the next year or two, when you start to see these initiatives that are coming online that do help us become more self-reliant as a community, support them. Get behind them. If you have decisions being made by people that don't live here, that don't understand the intricacies of the island and how it works, and also don't have the links and connections with the community and all of the other resources that exist here, then there's so many lost opportunities to be very, very creative.
The people cooperating with and caring about each other are the main factors that we need to encourage. We can all plant fruit trees, we can all have water catchment devices on our roofs. It's not the technology, it's the human relationships.
We have to find ways to meet our needs by this process of mutual support.